What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's Apple TV original review of Finch. This film is directed by Miguel Sapochinik. Now, before we begin, if you like this channel, awesome, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome, hit the like button, as well as comment below any video that you watch, including this one. So this story of Finch is, of course, about a character named Finch, who's, of course, played by Tom Hanks. He and his dog live in a post-apocalyptic scenario where, in essence, the solar rays, the solar flares, have completely collapsed the ozone layer. Most of the population of the world has completely collapsed and died off. And so, in order to protect themselves from the radiation, they travel in this van that's very much protected. He wears a solar suit and stuff like that so he can walk around, the planet and whatnot to be safe. But the problem is, unfortunately, he's getting older and he is suffering from an illness. So he does the thing that he feels most responsible that will end up taking care of his dog when he dies, and that is to build a robot, a artificial intelligence. And he does that in a robot that is very much a robot that you see in a lot of movies, but he calls this robot Jeff, and Jeff, of course, is voiced by Landry. And so, in essence, this movie, in its nutshell, is very much a road trip movie. It's a movie about what it's like to become human, what it's like to eventually come to the finality of what a human does, and what it's like to live in a world where climate control is completely thrown out the window, the whole entire world's collapsed, and how do you survive in that scenario? So it's very much a cautionary tale in a lot of aspects. So this movie was actually originally, like Greyhound, was supposed to be a theatrical release, this time through Universal Studios. It was actually called Bias, which I actually think is a better title for this film. But it was a movie that got pushed back, like I said, through the pandemic, and then it was bought out by Apple TV Plus, changed to Finch, and now we have our movie. And it was a movie that I was highly anticipating for the simple fact that Tom Hanks and sci-fi are not something you usually see together. He rarely ever does sci-fi movies. So with that said, I found this movie very interesting because it's a road trip movie. It's about him creating a robot for, I didn't know what reasons, but he creates a robot. And then Landry comes into the mix, who's a fantastic actor working today, and he's voicing the robot and whatnot. Plus, it also has a very fun dog who's doing some, very dog work. And I was just really excited by that. I'll be fairly honest. I was looking forward to this movie. I knew it was going to be a very small movie. I knew it was from the director of the Jude Law Repo Man movie, as well as some really popular Game of Thrones episodes. And so when it comes to this movie and doing a review for it, I found myself really kind of almost worried for the first 20 minutes of this movie. And what I mean by that is the movie's first 20 minutes are some of the most dull stuff I've seen in quite a while. It's not really entertaining. There's not really much energy to it. Something's wrong with Tom Hanks' character. There's something wrong with the world. But he's just kind of exploring this world. There are some things that happen where the character's going down a path where he unfortunately will have to go. But after about 20 minutes, when he builds the Jeff character, that's when the movie starts getting its groove. That's when it starts getting its, kineticism, its, energy, its funness, its enjoyable livability and stuff like that. And it's really strange because Tom Hanks is one of the most likable actors in the world, but he just feels like he's so underused for the first 20 minutes of this movie that it takes a digital character for him to liven up, to become more expressive. And I feel that the people who created this character of Jeff and Landry Jones's voice work is some of the most engaging and fun stuff I've seen this year, because he's childlike when he starts out, and then he starts growing more humanistic and humanity. He starts, questioning, kind of like in a Wonderment style way. And by the time you get to the conclusion of this movie, you've really fallen in love, not only with Jeff's character, but with Finch himself, and realizing that he is doing this to protect, his future, protect, the dog. And it's just a really passionate story that left me, by the end of this movie, a little emotional, because it was very powerful stuff. It's really fun to see, especially if you watch like this or watch like District 9, where you're dealing with characters that are not there, but can use so much emotional, emotive abilities that it creates a powerful kind of resonance. And what's really nice about this is the only expression that Jeff has, the robot, is through his eyes, or his like slumping over. As he moves through the movie, he gets a little more expressionism and stuff like that. But it was really just kind of an impassioned movie. I really felt like it had a lot to say about not only climate culture and how we are moving towards something really climatic and stuff like that, but it also tells a story of what it is like to be a human, how powerful that can be. And even if it's something like a robot put in the right sense, given the right motives, can feel like a human. And that's what this movie tries to do. It tries to make you feel for something that is built out of pieces and parts, and that's exactly what happens here. And like I said, I can't give enough respect for what Caleb Landry Jones has to do in this movie, because he has to make this robot feel real and feel very human. And by the time this movie ends, it definitely feels like that. So overall, I really enjoyed this movie. It struggles to get started, but I think it's a movie that really is something that has a lot to say, really feels impassioned, really feels kinetic, and has a dog in it, which is always fun. That dog was very emotive and stuff like that. And you get a little bit of like kind of life lessons about, you know, being human and so on and so forth. So anyways, that'll do it. That'll be my take on Finch, which is a film that I really enjoyed. So in the comments below, if you've seen Finch, or if you're interested in seeing Finch, let me know what your favorite parts were. Are you looking forward to this film if you haven't seen it? All that good stuff. Otherwise, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find what's coming in next. If you like this video, awesome, hit that like button, and as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.